It is 2154 on Earth, and our mother planet is so polluted and full of diseases. While the poor citizens live there, the rich and powerful ones enjoy their life on Elysium, a space station that is orbiting just outside the Earth's atmosphere. Life for the poor is far from easy. They live in dirty cities. Their healthcare depends on dirty and crowded hospitals. The robot police are so brutal, and most of the time, arrest indiscriminately. People are facing punishments that are automatically handed down by a droid. Awful. It somehow reminds me of the Star Trek episode The Cloudminders in 1969, where the plot is different, but we have the same idea here too. In this episode, there was a city in the sky called Stratus, just like in Elysium. Here also, everything is perfect, and the planet below is grimy. And if I have a good memory, it also reminds me of Fritz Lang's classic sci-fi movie, Metropolis, where there was the same high cultural difference between different classes of people. Back to the movie. Spider is a hacker who lives down on Earth in Los Angeles, and he prepares 3 shuttle flights to Elysium. The intention is to smuggle people into the space station so they can steal the rich guy's special medbay devices that can heal any disease. But this mission doesn't end very well at first. 2 of the spacecraft are destroyed in space by Elysium's Defense Secretary Delacourt. The people on the 3rd ship that land on the space station will be arrested and deported back to Earth. However, there is one man who doesn't approve of these actions, and that's Elysium President Patel, who threatens Delacourt that he will discharge her if any further similar actions will be taken. Offended by these words, the Defense Secretary will go on some other way. She offers a defense contract for life to the Armadine Corporation CEO, John Carlyle. But in exchange, he will have to help Delacourt to make a coup so she can become the next president. Carlyle accepts the proposal and writes a program that he stores inside of his brain. Meanwhile, Max DaCosta is a guy who grew up watching this space station from his Latino LA neighborhood. He works in a grueling factory, but he's lucky to have his job. He is trying to keep things together in society, and not how it is right now, turned against the poor. Working with Armadine Corporation, one day Max will be accidentally exposed to a lethal dose of radiation. Left with only days to live, Max's only way to survive is to get to Elysium, where healing pods can fix any medical condition in only a second. Facing death, Max is also fired from his job, and to save his life, together with his friend Julio, Max approaches Spider and makes a deal. The hacker will give him a shuttle ride to the richest world, where he can try to reach the medbays and heal his condition. But in exchange, Max will have to steal some information from the powerful Elysium citizens. And so, he agreed to steal information, and guess who his target is? Good guessing, it's his former boss, John Carlyle. To manage this, Spider equips Max with a powerful exoskeleton. This highly increases his stamina and strength, and makes him look like some kind of cyborg. Together with Julio, they shoot down Carlyle's ship to Elysium and extract the program I mentioned previously. And have a better look at this scene. You're able to see a white horse in the bottom left corner of the screen. I can say it's a great symbol, as white horses in various mythologies around the world are often associated, for example, with sun chariots and warrior heroes, as well as with the ideas such as fertility and end-of-time saviors. Back to the action. As Max and Julio shoot down Carlyle's shuttle, Delacourt sends her Black Ops team, which is led by the cruel and mighty Agent Kruger, who kills Julio. The injured Max, on the other hand, manages to escape with the coup program from Carlyle's brain. Exhausted and nearly finished, Max asks for help from his childhood friend, Nurse Frey, who manages to fix him. This is where things become complicated, and the real plot of the movie follows. I mean, really, there are so many scenes coming one after another in a really short time that maybe it'll confuse you a little bit. Healed from injuries, Max goes to Spider, who realizes that the information he gathered from Carlyle is worth it. Meanwhile, the Steel Lady Delacourt will give an order that will lock all flights to Elysium. This makes Spider unable to take Max, but what he does do is secretly puts a tracking device on him. Another problem for Max occurs when Kruger kidnaps Frey and her daughter, and to try to release them, he offers the data information for the coup to the agent. And you remember how he only had days to live, faced with radiation exposure at the factory before? He asks Kruger to give him an approach to the medbay. Kruger accepts this, and Delacourt removes the order for lockdown. But during the flight to Elysium, Kruger and Max start a fight over the data, and a grenade explodes in Kruger's face. This also damages the ship, which crashes into Elysium. It's rather interesting where the inspiration for Kruger's character comes from. Sharlto Copley drew this inspiration from the famous 32 Battalion, which is an elite and highly effective South African military unit that garnered big fame during the South African-Namibian border wars. After the explosion, Max is arrested and taken in front of Delacourt, who now gives an order for the data to be extracted from him. But brave Max escapes once again and goes to save Frey, who is held by Kruger's men. Interestingly, Kruger is brought back to life by the medbay, but now he is no longer an associate of Delacourt's. In fact, he confronts her and manages to fatally wound her. Kruger wants the coup protocol only for him, and that's why he orders his man to hunt and kill all the politicians on the space station while he goes after Max. But Kruger is not the only guy who is trying to secure this data information. Spider also has his own plans. He lands on Elysium and meets with Max. His newest proposal is for his men to protect Frey and bring her daughter to the medbay, but Max will have to give the data to him. But Kruger has a new exoskeleton on him and confronts these two while they reach the computer core. Here, Max and the powerful agent have a brutal fight where Max manages to disable the connection between Kruger and his suit, which causes him to make one last move. The two look like human transformers, and this is the most straightforward stuff in the movie, and also the most exciting. There is a mix of gritty hand-to-hand combat, much like in District 9. Blomkamp again shows that he has an eye for visual effects that fascinated the viewers. After Max disconnects Kruger's body from his exoskeleton, the villain attempts to murder-suicide with a grenade, which Max overcomes, but Kruger dies from. Freed from the main obstacle, Max and Spider connect to the computer, and the hacker realizes that if the data is moved from Max's brain, he will pass away. This is the saddest part of the movie, which may bring a few tears to your eyes. No, it won't end as a happy tale. I'm not happy to inform you either of this, but this is how it goes. After hearing that the data extraction will kill him, Max says goodbye to Frey and tells Spider to start the download process. He drops dead, but he is a real hero for sure. Frey's daughter is healed, and the police come to the place. However, they are unable to arrest Spider now, as every citizen on Earth is now also considered a citizen of Elysium. The medbays are transported to every place on Mother Earth, and everyone who needs medical treatment is healed.